Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to set up a ground blind here for turkey hunting. Want to show you a couple tricks that I use when I set up a blind. Might save you a couple blinds in the long run. I know I've been through a ton of ground blinds throughout the years. There's a few tricks I've learned along the way to help keep them staked down and keep them from getting crushed in and stuff. But also show you kind of where I set up and why. Where we're at here, you can kind of see that way. This field goes for a good ways that way, probably maybe 400 more yards out to a big wood line. Kind of pinches down here real narrow, opens up. And up on that side, there's a big knob. Why I set up here is these gobblers like to get on top of these ridges and gobble. And I don't know how well this shows up. Right here, this is a big saddle. So these deer, or these turkeys, aren't much different than deer really. They're going to cross in these saddles and they're going to run these ridges, so it's a really good intersection. I don't know how many birds I've killed here in the past, but I know every year this is one place I'll always set up. Throw up a ground blind here. If it's real rainy or whatever, these birds come up in these fields. You can just sit here and actually you end up really hunting them more like a deer than you do a turkey. You kind of just sit on them. It's real good for kind of later in the year when they start getting call shy and stuff. But this is one of the places I set up year in and year out. I always set up right here. Now you get to putting this blind up, and I'll show you a couple things I do there. Like I said, it might save you a few blinds in the long run. I know I've had countless blinds blow over the hill, and some of these better blinds, I mean, you're going to spend $300, $400, $500 on them. I think the one I'm putting here, this spot's mainly going to be for my son for youth season. And I'm sure I'll hunt it some later too, but this is just a real good spot. Hopefully take him and get him his first bird. But I'll get to putting it up here and show you a couple things I do different than probably a lot of guys. These little stakes like this, in my opinion, don't stake your blind down with them. Throw them back in the side by side. Don't use them for anything. These are the stakes I use. They're fiberglass fence post. I think it's 3/8 of an inch. I think it's $2 at Tractor Supply. So you need 8 of these. So for $16, you're going to all but guarantee your blind isn't going to be blown over the hill. Nothing better than to get everything set up and come in here and show up and not have a blind to get in. Have to go find it, and half the rods are broke and chairs are missing and all that. So for me, it's pretty easy to spend $16. Pretty sure they're like $2 a piece to make sure that blind stays there. If I'd have done this over the years, I'd literally have saved myself way over $1,000, because I know I've went through at least 4 blinds that were over $300 a piece. So countless of the real cheap blinds, $100 or so. But I know I've had some really nice blinds that aren't worth a nickel now. If I'd have started using these years ago, I'd still have them. But I did need this string out of that bag, so I had to go get that. The key to putting these stakes in is just have them angled about 30 degrees. You could have them 45, but at least 30 degrees. That way it can't come straight up off of them. But as long as you have them angled, I've never had a blind pull off of these stakes. And also, a lot of guys only stake the four corners. If you only stake the four corners, these winds hit it, the hub can pop in and it'll end up breaking the other hubs and stuff. So I do the four corners and then the four drawstring sides of it to keep the hub popped out. And then my final tip is to support that center hub. So I'll go in and see how tall I need to cut this stick. Then what I do is I drilled this with a 1/2 inch bit, and that'll go over the center of that hub. There'll always be a little bolt sticking out. So I'll stick this up on there. We'll go inside and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're here in the blind. Basically, I end up putting this hole right here. I'll put it over the top of this bolt that sticks down from that hub. It'll kind of keep it centered there. Just keeps the blind from collapsing in on itself. A lot of times these center hubs will pop in and then you'll get a bunch of rain on it and then it will collapse the rest of your blind. Basically, these rods on the side aren't going to be able to support a few 100 pounds of water if this whole center hub pops in. So once I got it cut to the right length, come in here, stick the container on top of your stick, get that container centered up on that hub. Just kind of pull your stick down into the ground a little bit. And that's how I'll leave it. When I come back to hunt, I'll end up just popping the stick up out of the ground. I usually just leave this container, leave it over in the corner of the blind, and I'll take a stick, and I'll usually just set it outside the blind there. Then when I'm done, I'll bring it back in and set it back up. So there's a couple tips. Might save you a few ground blinds in the long run. I know if I did these years ago, I'd have saved myself, like I said, way over $1,000. I know for sure I have 3 really nice blinds that I've spent over $300 a piece on that they're nothing but junk now. So just do a little quick walk around of the blind. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time here on Ramsay Country.